Hello students, let us continue chapter 6 Life Processes. Today we are going to start our next topic, heterotrophic nutrition. So, each organism is adapted to its environment. The form of nutrition differs depending upon the type and availability of food material as well as how it is obtained by the organism. For example, whether the food is source is stationary just like grass or it is mobile just like deer would allow for differences in how the food is accessed and what is the nutritive apparatus used by cow or a lion. There is a range of strategies by which the food is taken in and used by the organisms. So, the definition of heterotrophic nutrition, hetero means other, nutrition from different means. We can say organisms which consume complex food material prepared by other organisms are called heterotrophic nutrition. In this case, organisms do not have chlorophyll in their body and thus they cannot prepare their own food. For example, all of us, all human beings, all animals, either they are vegetarian or non vegetarian, fungi, cuscut, and many more are examples of heterotrophic organisms. There are different types of heterotrophic nutrition like saprophytic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, symbiotic nutrition, insectivorous, etc. So let us discuss few of them. Start with saprophytic nutrition, in which organisms feed on dead and decaying plants and animal material. In case of saprophytic nutrition, saprophytes contain digestive enzymes. We know that enzymes are very helpful in breaking down the complex material into simple one. So enzymes act on complex organic matter outside the organisms and then the soluble products are absorbed through the body surface. This is the simple phenomena find out in saprophytic nutrition. Examples are fungi and bacteria. Next, parasitic nutrition. The term parasite, we know that completely dependent on other living body. So organisms obtain food from the body of another living organism known as parasitic nutrition case. Here another living organism will be host for that particular parasite. There are two types of parasites, endoparasites, exoparasites. Endoparasite lives inside the body of the host, for example tapeworms, roundworms, etc. And exoparasites live on the body of the host, okay, lice, leech, etc. And the most important point, parasite benefits while the host is actually harmed. It means these parasites consume all the nutritious food from the host body and destroy the host completely and then proceed towards the next. Host body. Examples are cuscut plant, amarbale and plasmodium, that is malarial parasite, mosquitoes. Holozoic nutrition. Organisms, mostly animals, take in whole food from outside, from environment and then digest it into smaller particles with the help of enzymes, digestive juices. Like human beings, small insects, amoeba and many more animal kinds are categorized under Holozoic nutrition. There are total 5 steps of these nutrition process. The very first is ingestion, taking in food. It means we have to take food inside. Digestion, breaking down of complex food into simpler, absorbable form. Then absorption, digested food is absorbed by the body. Assimilation, digested food is then utilized to release energy. And egestion, removing of undigested food from the body. But some organisms break down the food material outside the body and then absorb it, categorized under non-holozoic nutrition. Examples are fungi, like bread molds, yeast, and mushrooms. In single celled organisms, the food may be taken in by the entire surface. Let us discuss the nutrition case of amoeba. If you observe the diagram of nutrition in amoeba, here uh, it consumes all the food inside the body using temporary finger like structure, finger like extension known as pseudopodia, which is of the cell surface. As it is a single cell structure, it continuously moves its body, and this pseudopodia fuse over the food particles, forming a food vacuole. And inside the food vacuole, complex substances are broken down into simpler ones, which then diffuse into the cytoplasm. The remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. Now, the next case, paramecium, which is another unicellular organism, but it has a definite cell shape, and food is taken in at a specific spot, and food is moved to this spot by the movement of cilia, which cover the entire surface of the cell. Before starting nutrition in human beings, let us discuss digestion. Process of converting complex food components into simple and soluble form with the help of enzymes is known as digestion. Let us discuss nutrition in human beings. It starts with alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is basically a long tube extending from the mouth to the anus, already shown in the diagram. We eat various types of food which has to pass through the same digestive tract. Naturally, the food has to be processed to generate particles which are small and the same texture. So this is achieved by crushing the food with our teeth. This is the first process of digestive system. Since the lining of the canal is soft and the food is also quite weighted to make its passage smooth, when we eat something we like, our mouth waters. This is actually not only water but a fluid called saliva secreted by the salivary glands. And the next, the food is in complex nature, complex form. So if it is to be absorbed from the alimentary canal, it has to be broken into smaller molecules. This is done with the help of biological catalyst known as enzymes. Enzymes, that is digestive juice. The saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase that breaks down starch, the carbohydrate, which is a complex molecule, to give simple sugar. The food is mixed thoroughly with saliva and moved around the mouth while chewing by the muscular tongue. It is necessary to move the food in a regulated manner along the digestive tube so that it can be processed properly in each part. The lining of the canal has muscles that contract in order to push the food forward. Now the movements occur all along the gut. From the mouth, the food is taken to the stomach through the food pipe or esophagus. The stomach is a large organ which expands when food enters it. The muscular walls of the stomach help in mixing the food thoroughly with more digestive juices known as pepsin. The digestion in stomach is taken care by the gastric glands present in the walls of the stomach. These release hydrochloric acid, HCl, a protein digestive enzyme called pepsin, and mucus. These three things are very important in stomach. The hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium which facilitates the action of the enzyme pepsin. What other function The mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of the acid under normal conditions. The exit of the food from the stomach is regulated by muscle, which releases it in small amounts into the small intestine. From the stomach, the food now enters the small intestine. This is the longest part of the alimentary canal, which is fitted into a compact space because of extensive coiling. It is in coiled form. The length of the small intestine differs in various animals depending on the food they eat. Herbivores eating grass need a longer small intestine to allow the cellulose to be digested. Meat is easier to digest, hence, carnivores like tigers have a shorter small intestine. The small intestine is the site of the complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It receives the secretions of the liver, pancreas for this purpose. The food coming from the stomach is acidic and has to be made alkaline for the pancreatic enzymes to act, because pancreatic enzymes need alkaline medium for working. Bile juice from the liver accomplishes this in addition to acting on fats, because fats are present in the intestine in the form of large globules, which makes it difficult for enzymes to act on them. So bile salts break them down into smaller parts, smaller globules, increasing the efficiency of enzymes action. The pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, which contains enzymes like trypsin for digesting proteins and lipase for breaking down fats. The walls of the small intestine contain glands which secrete intestinal juice. The enzymes present in it finally convert the proteins into amino acids, complex carbohydrates into glucose, and fats into fatty acids and glycerols. Digested food is taken up by the walls of the intestine. The inner lining of the small intestine has numerous finger-like projections called villi, which increase the surface area for absorption. The villi are richly supplied with blood vessels which take the absorbed food to each and every cell of the body, where it is utilized for obtaining energy, building up new tissues, and the repair of old tissues. The unabsorbed food is sent into the large intestine, where its wall absorb more water from this material. The rest of the material is removed from the body via anus, the anus part. The exit of these waste material is regulated by the anal part. So this is the complete nutrition process in human beings, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So students, I hope you understood all the heterotrophic nutrition part, nutrition in amoeba and nutrition in human beings. Thank you for listening.